At the end of this training, you will be able to identify key laws governing accommodations on a college level, understand the legal requirements for providing accommodations in the classroom, describe who is eligible for ADA accommodations, discuss reasonable versus unreasonable accommodations, identify the steps following receipt of an accommodation letter, and know what to do if you have questions or concerns about the accommodations. There are two major laws affecting access to services in higher education. Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act of 1973 and the Americans with Disabilities Act 1990. These two laws have helped to determine a pathway for individuals to gain equal access within education. Colleges have a legal mandate to provide reasonable accommodations to students who self-identify and request those supports by providing necessary documentation. HAC has chosen to take this mandate to a higher level by embedding inclusivity into our strategic plan. The ADA has defined disability to be a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activity. Please note that a disability extends beyond just physical limitations and can include mental and emotional processes as well, such as thinking, concentrating, and interacting with others. The law requires that colleges provide reasonable accommodations, which include the following. They must be logically related to the functional limitations of the student. They must be likely to be effective. They do not put an undue burden upon faculty, and they do not fundamentally alter the course or program requirements. An undue burden is defined by the law as a higher standard than inconvenience, meaning that the faculty member may be required to take additional steps in order to accommodate a student. All of this work is to ensure that the student with disabilities can demonstrate their knowledge on an equal footing with their peers. Accommodations are to provide equal access. This means that colleges are not required to lower the course standard or make it easier for the student. Student Access Services has the responsibility to balance the needs of the student with disabilities while upholding the rigor of the coursework. The laws require that the accommodations be logically related to the student's functional limitations. Student Access Services does this by creating effective accommodations that are individualized to the student's needs. Creativity is essential to the accommodation process. The process is a collaboration between the student, the professor, and Student Access Services. Reasonable accommodations under the law may include extended time on tests, including in-class graded assignments, lab tests, and pop quizzes, recorded lectures, oral proctoring or a reader, note taker, books in an alternate format, scribes or a computer to assist with handwriting, closed captioning and/or an interpreter. Reasonable accommodations do not include requesting a professor to modify or simplify a test, untimed tests, the ability to retest, or the implementation of a behavior plan. What should you do if you have a concern about accommodations listed on the student's accommodation letter? Please do not say directly to the student that you will not allow one of their accommodations. This could be a violation of the law. please contact Student Access Services and discuss your concerns with us directly. This allows us to help evaluate the reasonableness of the accommodations in your course. Once we have met with a student to determine their accommodations, the student is responsible to inform Student Access Services which professor they would like notified of these accommodations. Student Access Services will email faculty using the HACC email account. Student Access Service must use your HACC email to maintain the confidentiality of the information. Please check your email regularly, as these letters can be requested and sent at any point during the semester. It is important to recognize that this email is the legal notification that the student has access to accommodations in your course. How can you assist in accommodating students in your class? The Office of Civil Rights has determined when an accommodation letter is sent to the faculty email, notification has been given and accommodations must be in place. You can start by communicating to the student by email or inviting them to meet with you to review the accommodation letter with them. Student Access Services strongly encourages students to meet with the instructor in a private setting to discuss their accommodations. Remember, Student Access Services is here to help support and facilitate the conversation as needed. You can help pave the way by reaching out to the student. This can be a very intimidating process for students with disabilities. Many students may not have done this before. As you go over your syllabus and comment on the PHRC statement, you can highlight Student Access Services and request that eligible students meet with you during office hours regarding accommodations. Disability information is highly confidential. Please assist in maintaining the student's privacy by storing the accommodation letter in a secure location, holding conversations with the students regarding their accommodations during office hours, and by not disclosing if a student has a disability or accommodation to the class or to your colleagues. Please be aware, it is illegal to ask the student directly what their disability is. You may inquire as to what the impact of the disability in the classroom, and you might be able to assist them with their learning. Remember, Student Access Services is here to assist you, and we thank you for your time today, and we look forward to working with you.